Welcome back to GeoGlimpse. This time, we'll be going over every reasonable scenario that might actually trigger a third world war. To quote Albert Einstein, "I know not with what weapons World War III will be fought, but World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones." Every war has its price, and World War III may have the largest toll on humanity and our planet due to the rapid development of weapons. But we aren't here to make up some random scenarios for our World War III. Instead, we're looking at very real ways that it might start. We'll start with the Israel and Iran conflict, which has grown from microaggression to missile and drone strikes. Since 1979, Iran has become much more aggressive with their axis of resistance, which includes multiple terrorist organizations such as the Houthis, Hezbollah, and Hamas. As the years continue, we seem to be getting closer to an actual military confrontation between the two major powers. After Palestine invaded Israel on October 7th, the Houthis began indiscriminately firing upon trade ships traveling throughout the Red Sea and have also attempted to attack Israel proper, especially the port of Eilat. These unwarranted attacks have put a massive damper on international trade, rising global tensions. On the 1st of April, according to Iran, Israel allegedly struck a building adjacent to the Iranian embassy in Damascus, Syria. This attack killed 7 members of the IRGC, a U.S. designated terrorist group. In retaliation, around midnight on the 13th of April, Iran launched over 300 missiles and drone strikes into Israel, 99% of which were shot down. Luckily, there was only 1 casualty and no deaths. In retaliation to this unprecedented attack, Israel bombed multiple military targets in Iran proper. Luckily, tensions have been calming down. However, after Ebrahim Raisi's death, it's unknown what will happen or how the new Iranian president will behave. This situation is particularly sticky due to Israel possessing nuclear weapons and Iran close to having some. Luckily, the situation has calmed down between both Israel and revolutionary Iran, but another conflict could soon spark between the two. Let's move to Europe. Some have theorized that NATO's interest in eastern expansion could provoke Russia to the point of war between the two. NATO has been attempting to expand in the only direction that they really can, east. Namely, Georgia and Ukraine have been Russia's greatest fears for future NATO members, as they would severely extend the length of the two's borders. The special operation in Ukraine has been dragged out for slightly more than 2 years now, making Russia's true military might questionable. Russia has so far responded negatively to Finland and Sweden joining NATO, but it's mostly muted for now. According to Vladimir Putin, the situation between Ukraine and the Nordic countries joining NATO was very different, as Ukraine was becoming anti-Russian while the significant Russian population was being repressed. It doesn't help that France has been pushing to arm Ukraine for an offensive attack either, sparking tensions to an even higher point. Most nations in Europe are heavily concerned about the ongoing war, since it's an almost guaranteed that a successful invasion of Ukraine will lead to a subsequent invasion of Moldova to absorb Transnistria. To the east, China has its eyes set on annexing Taiwan, and the US has made it very clear that it will defend the island nation no matter what. With the UK and Australia being pulled into the tension via AUKUS and the economic war between China and the US, the tensions are higher than ever. Taiwan, being the largest shareholder of the global chip manufacturing, could make China eager to invade, but also makes the US starkly against an invasion of the island. Indonesia, the Philippines, Malaysia, Vietnam, and other members of ASEAN's relationship with China has been nuanced with competition. Although the two are near each other, their relationship seems to ebb and flow. Although it's most definitely not negative, it's also not friendly. This is mostly due to China trying to claim the South China Sea as its own, upsetting all ASEAN countries, which surround the territory. The 9-dash line is what China believes their true ownership of the highly traveled sea is, and it's easy to see how the line disfavors ASEAN and could lead to conflict if China further imposed their claims. The main fear of war with China is tackling their huge population. However, India, another superpopulated country, has a bitter rivalry with Pakistan, a country supported by China, thus causing the two to become enemies. Any dispute between these two countries could very well spark a world war. India and China also have disputed territories and conflicting interests. If a war between Taiwan and China broke out, it's very unlikely how India would directly join, but they would likely still support the West. Next, let's look at the Hermit Kingdom, or North Korea. Unlike some of the others mentioned, North Korea isn't really a threat due to its power, but due to its leadership. If you didn't know, North Korea is run by one party, the Workers' Party of Korea, which, unlike the other one-party communist states, has always selected a member of the Kim dynasty as their leader, even to the point where citizens view the Kims as gods. Because of this, North Korea's stockpile of 40 to 50 nuclear weapons are in the hands of these gods, so on a spur-of-the-moment decision, the current leader, Kim Jong-un, could decide to end the world without anyone else in his government's approval. Although the DPRK does not possess the best nukes in the world, they still do have the capacity to quickly and easily hit major cities, such as Seoul, Tokyo, and Taipei City. Who knows, maybe nukes are even headed to those cities right now. The other North Korean threat comes from their immense troop numbers. North Korea currently has 1.3 million active personnel, more than double that of South Korea, a nation with roughly double the population of the North. On its own, this is an impressive amount of troops, but almost every North Korean citizen is ready to fight for their nation, mostly due to the country's propaganda and brainwashing techniques that these people have been accustomed to for their entire lives. The reason that this could lead to a world war is, well, because that's inevitable with nuclear weapons, and because an attack on North Korea would cause China to defend the Hermit Kingdom and push the US off their doorstep. After all, this is exactly what happened during the Korean War in the 50s. However, this time it's almost certain that other nations, including Japan, would step in. Speaking of Japan, earlier this year, North Korea tested a ballistic missile, flying northeast over Japan, landing north of the island just outside of their economic zone, most likely being used as a test for their missile's range. This is the end of part 1, but let's hope that World War III never happens and we can learn to coexist as a species. Consider clicking the subscribe button and liking the video. We also like to hear constructive criticism so that we can improve our video production quality, and put that all in the comment section. Thanks for watching. Bye.